Hey guys, welcome back to an Affliction of the Heart. This time it's the Volume 1 finale and the epilogue that I'm going to read today. Anyways, let's hop right into it. Finale. Kuno was sitting in the bath again, coming happily and scrubbing herself off, a toothbrush stuffed in her muzzle, and all full fake mane of bubbles cascading down her back. It was night, and she was getting ready for bed. She had already delivered the news that Daggertail would most likely be leaving him alone, and now all they had to do was wait. Warden was still awake, pacing back and forth. One of Daggertail's cronies was due for a checkup that very next morning. If he didn't arrive, then Warden would know that he was free. Daggertail, however, had other plans. "Oi, you pair, go around the back and make sure they don't try to escape out the back window or something," Sunshine said, waving a hoof to two of the big earth ponies accompanying him. The two ponies nodded, immediately splitting off the main group and heading off for the rear of the house. So Sunshine gave a malicious grin, turning to the remaining four earth ponies. "You remember the orders, right?" The four ponies nodded. The unicorn... So Daggertail took... oh, fuck you. I hate when people, villains take the warnings as a challenge. Fuck you. The unicorn gave a grin at that, waving a hoof for them to proceed. The four ponies fanned out, heading for the windows and doors of the building. Sunshine watched him go, rubbing a hoof against his temple. Where Kuno had knocked him down the dark alley, it would be time for revenge so very soon. Pretty sure she's powerful. She's a powerful changeling, especially since Warden loves the fuck out of her at this current moment predicament. Pretty sure you're gonna get fucked with. You guys fucked up here. Kuno hummed to herself happily, rubbing a sponge around her neck, while her collar usually sat, brushing the chitin where it was starting to get scuffed. She considered finding a way to put an extra soft padded part on the inside of the collar so it wouldn't ruin her chin. She would just have to ask Warden about it. That was the last thought Kuno had before the window beside her exploded inwards. Glass showered the bathroom, tingling to the tiled floor, while the rock that was thrown through the window clattered across the hard surface, banging against the door. Kuno was momentarily stunned and caught by surprise. She quickly pulled herself up out of the bath and spun towards the window, her teeth baring in a show of aggression. By the time the changeling realized that no one was at the window anymore, the door to the bathroom was being kicked in. Summoned against the wall, a pair of earth ponies stood there, grinning at her maliciously. The one that had thrown the rock through the window appeared at the broken hole, smiling evilly, blocking her escape. Kuno spun around to face the doorway, watching as another pony headed past them, down the hall towards Warden's room. The sound of a commotion quickly followed. Kuno launched herself at the two ponies in the door, raising a hoof to bring down on their heads. The first earth pony sidestepped, moving forwards and to the side. Before Kuno even realized what was happening, the second pony caught her with a ringing blow right on the nose. The changeling blinked lessly, falling back onto her rump and staring with wide eyes, a peculiar ringing in her ears, and blood starting to trickle from her nostrils. A brutal sideswipe blow from the first pony's hoof caught the changeling right across the cheek, sending her killing sideways to the tile floor. Unconscious, the pure white tiles were quickly sullied by a slow dribble of blood drooling from her nostril and the corner of her mouth. Sunshine walked through the front door of the house as if he owned it, sauntering towards the laundry room where the unconscious Kuno and the struggled Warden were being dragged. "Let me go," Warden demanded, trying to kick his way free. A quick blow to his stomach silenced him. Warden paled when he realized that Sunshine was in his lounge room. "Hello, Warden," Sunshine said warmly. "What strange company you keep these days." I'm about to fucking... Warden, fucking man the fuck up for once in your fucking life. God damn it. Warden blinked once, his eyes widening as Kuno was dragged in front of the bathroom, dumped unceremoniously on the floor. "Don't you dare hurt her," Warden snarled, struggling all the harder. A second blow to his stomach silenced him, and he doubled up, wheezing hard, hooves holding his stomach. Daggertail sent us to deliver a message, Sunshine said with a highly malicious smile, peering down at the Pegasus. "Say goodbye to your little bug friend." Warden gasped for air, panting and clawing with his hoof to try and get back to the standing position. One of the earth ponies picked up the changeling hoof around her middle, the other gripping her horn, tilting her head back and exposing her throat. A second pony stepped forwards, drawing a dagger and giving a wicked grin. No! Warden breathed, pushing himself to his hooves and trying to move towards the changeling. He didn't even see the blow that caught him in the ribs, but he was sure that he felt something in the rib cage under the powerful impact. A second hit between his shoulders dropped him to the floor. Once more, his eyes began to water as he stared up at the unconscious changeling. Please, no." The pony with the dagger stepped closer, holding the dagger against the changeling's neck, licking his lips, savoring in the moment. No, Warden breathed, hanging his head defeated. Sunshine held up a hoof. "Wait." Warden lifted his head, blinking hopefully. "Daggertail just wants the changeling dead. Let the guard execute her. We'll turn her Let the guard execute her. We'll turn her in for the bounty," Sunshine said, a thoughtful note in his voice. "Either way, she'll still die." But Warden whispered, You can't." "Shut up, you," Sunshine snarled, kicking the Pegasus hard in the ribs. Warden felt something else crack. Hold his hoof. Sunshine said calmly. My God, fucking great. Warden, man the fuck up. Man the fuck up. Man the fuck up, Warden. Man the fuck up. Fuck, you can take all these bitches down and just kill them. Just straight up kill them. The two earth ponies relinquished the changeling, dropping her to the floor unceremoniously before moving over to the Pegasus, who Warden sucked in a breath, his eyes widening as his hoof was extended. Hold forcefully in place. Beg for me, Warden. Beg me not to hurt you, Sunshine said maliciously, staring down at the Pegasus. Please don't hurt me. Why did you fucking submit, you little bitch? Warden said with wide eyes, looking up at the unicorn and then down at his hoof, struggling faintly. Sunshine pursed his lips softly before a slow, mirthless smile stretching his muzzle. No. Crack! Warden screamed out in pain as Sunshine stumped with his full weight on the outstretched limb, right in the perfect spot. The earth ponies themselves winced as the sound of bones breaking and Warden heaved so hard that his hoof was freed, hanging at an odd angle. The Pegasus continued to scream hoarsely, holding his broken hoof against his chest, tears streaming down his cheeks as he writhed in pain. The wings, Sunshine said emotionlessly. The other ponies grabbed one of Warden's wings, stretching out fully. Warden felt the motions, and he stiffened. His eyes flicked open as he turned a tear-streaked face up towards Sunshine. Please, he pleaded, blubbering. Please don't. I'll do anything. I'll do anything you want. Oh, just don't. The Pegasus never even got to finish his sentence. As Sunshine just neared and quickly leapt up, slamming his hoof down against the Pegasus' wing as hard as he could. A fresh scream left the Pegasus as his wing broke right on the middle joint. He screamed so hard he began to cough and then threw up all over the floor. And then he screamed some more. Liquid agony filled him, burning fiery hot in his form. Pathetic, Sunshine said with a consummate snort. Thought he seemed pleased with the pain he had inflicted on the Pegasus. I trust you won't be defying Daggertail again, he asked with a mean smile, gripping Warden's mane and digging his head up. Now, thank me for not killing you, Warden, or I'm going to break your other wing. Warden, stop being a little bitch! I'm mad at Warden right now. I am fucking mad. Warden, you little bitch. This is like the moment where you should fucking realize that being a wimp is gonna just get you killed in the fucking long run. Warden sobbed helplessly, tears splashing onto the floor. Thank you for not killing me, he managed to squeeze out in between harsh sobs of pain and shame. Good little boy, Sunshine said with a malicious smile. He waved a hoof and the earth ponies began to file out, carrying the unconscious Kuno between them. Sunshine stood up, then turning to leave, he pushed in the doorway looking back. We'll be back tomorrow for our progress update on our crop. Warden, you should fucking man the fuck up. I'm so fucking mad at you right now. Little fucking submissive little bitch. I don't care. Right now I'm mad at the fucking mainish character. Fucking Warden. I know you've been through hardships, but now you're gonna lose like two females in your life. How about that? I'm pretty sure that should fucking bad you the fuck up. Warden shuddered as he tried to stand. Sunlight streamed in through the window in the lounge room, and though Pegasus hadn't been even able to stand yet, the smell of his own dried vomit churned his stomach, and he was ashamed and broken. Everything had been taken from him again. Kuno, the one thing he had in the world that was good, was gone. She would be executed by the guard. First Swarm, now Kuno. He had been so close to being happy, and now he was snatched away. He wished the Sunshine had just killed him. Well, maybe you should use whatever the fuck you learn in the reserves of the guard and kill the fucking criminals that just took your girlfriend away. I'm not even sure if you're even dating. He wished the Sunshine had just killed him. After a few minutes, Warden managed to push himself to a rough sitting position, beginning to drag himself one hoof towards the bathroom. He was going to take the entire bottle of magic suppressants. There was enough toxins in there to kill himself. There was nothing more to live for. His life was over. It took minutes for him to get to the bathroom, painful, tear-filled minutes, but the thought of an end to the suffering he was in fortified the Pegasus, and he struggled onwards. So the end of the suffering fortified the Pegasus. Fuck you. Dragging himself across the tiles was easier, and he pushed the broken glass out of his way, pulling himself up so he was leaning over the sink. He opened up the medicine cabinet and pulled out the bottle of pills, shakingly undoing the top of it. But something stopped him. The word Kuno appeared in front of him, and he blinked once, trying to focus. It took several moments for him to realize that he could see the changeling's collar laying beside the tub, her name visible on it, and he gave him pause. Kuno was gone, given to the guard, gone. But maybe she was still alive. Yeah, maybe. Warden stared down at his hoof at the bottle of tablets there. It would be easy just to end it all, so easy to take a path out, no more pain, no more suffering, but what of Kuno? Warden was her very last chance at being saved. It almost made him laugh to think of the changeling, so assertive and strong, relying on him of all ponies, the greatest failure ever. She's been relying on your love ever since she got in there, technically. So, yeah, fuck you, she's been relying on you ever since, so fuck you. Warden looked up at his own reflection and felt his eyes misting with tears. Weak, he was weak. His gaze hardened and he dropped the pill bottle. Pills spilled down the drain in a torrent of blue, lost to him. Okay, what? Warden looked up at his own reflection and felt his eyes misting with tears. Weak, he was weak. Yeah, but it's all about confidence and bravado nowadays, so you better get some of that. His gaze hardened and he dropped the pill bottle. Pills spilled down the drain in a torrent of blue, lost to him. Warden stared at his reflection, biting his tongue until he tasted blood, his expression turning determined. It was time to stop being weak. Kuno needed him. Yes, that's what I was hoping for. That was what I was hoping his mindset would be. Now we're going to Kuno. Kuno whimpered faintly as she awoke, blinking her eyes open slowly. Immediately she tried to struggle, realizing that her hoofs and head were fixed in place. Her head began to pound, and she shuddered. Her first thought being of a guillotine. A quick glance around revealed that she was in a wooden stockade. A quick shift of her hind legs revealed that she had manacles around her hooves. She was captured. Silence was all around, and as her eyes adjusted, she realized she was bound in place in the courtyard of the Canterlot Palace, where she was easily visible to the guards patrolling the walls, and any visitors to the castle itself. A soft sigh left the changeling as she hung her head. This was the public shame area. She was being made an example of, being publicly displayed like a trophy. Are you kidding me? Well, at least it's gonna be easy to find her, but what the fuck? What the fuck is this? What the fuck? Now I'm a little bit mad because now they apparently put the changelings in the middle of the castle courtyard. Now okay. What? Okay, 4 hours, 4 painful, tearful, agonizing hours is how it looked. Long it took Warden to walk into Canterlot. His sofa was splintered very roughly with tattered bandages and the leg of his chair. One of his wings hung limp, and the tears dripped from under his helmet. He had barely been able to get his wing through the chest armor, but he had managed it somehow. After taking 3 magical suppressants to dull the pain, he had begun. Wait, you should have fucking worn armor while you were raiding. Why didn't you think of that? You were pacing back and forth. You should have worn armor the whole time. Fuck you. God damn it, it would have been less damaging if you did. After taking 3 magic suppressants to dull the pain, he had begun to... Okay, where was I? Okay, let's just restart. 4 hours, 4 painful, tearful, agonizing hours was how long it took Warden to walk into Canterlot. His sofa was splintered very roughly with tattered bandages and the leg of his chair. One of his wings hung limp, and tears dripped from under his helmet. He had barely been able to get his wing through the chest armor, but he had managed it somehow. After taking 3 magic suppressants to dull the pain, he had begun the long trek, one hoof after the other. Time was meaningless, but he had a goal, and he was going to reach it one way or another. As he walked through the Canterlot streets, ponies tried to help him. Seeing the pain he was in, he ignored them completely, just staggering through the street towards the palace. Head lowered, expression hidden under his helmet. By the time Warden reached the front gate of the Canterlot Palace, he had garnered quite a crowd, slowly following him, equal parts concerned and curious, exchanging hushed whispers among themselves. Shining Armor himself met Warden at the front of the gate of the palace, and the guard captain resplendent in his purple armor. "Halt, soldier! What happened to you?" Warden lifted his head, pursing in his dogged steps, murmuring, "Life happened." The Pegasus started to limp forwards again, but Shining Armor sidestepped in front of him, holding out his spear horizontally, blocking his progress. "Identify yourself, soldier." Warden paused at that, sitting back on his haunches and enjoying his own spear, holding it awkwardly in one hoof. The crowd gasped, and then many withdrew, forming a circle around the two of them, comprised of regular ponies and royal guards. "Walking here was the hardest thing I've ever done. I'll walk right through you to get to her," Warden murmured, grimacing. To get to, Shining Armor showed off, completely unintimidated by the Pegasus spear. "I don't want to hurt you," Warden stated, brows furrowing. "You're here for the changeling?" Shining Armor asked, his eyes narrowing as he gave a slow shake of his head. "You will not progress any further. You will not progress." Fuck you, Shining Armor. Also, where the okay, It mentioned that the Crystal Empire was back up and running. Why is shining armor in Canterlot still? Like, what the fuck? Like, I know he's captain of the guard and all that, but I don't think he has that job anymore. Warden sighed faintly, hefting his spear, and then hopping forwards, retracing it to the back of the spear, down on the guard captain's head. Shining armor dodged deftly, and then quickly brought the end of his own spear, the butt tip catching Warden right under the chin, lifting him off his hooves and dumping him onto his back. His helmet clattered around, bouncing and thudding until it came to rest at the hooves of one of the guards. Cease and desist, Shining armor demanded. Warden gripped his spear and doggedly pushed himself to his hooves again, adjusting his grip on the spear and stepping towards the guard captain, moving to him again. Shining armor stepped into the blow, easily pushing Warden's spear away, and then delivering a pair of brutal, fast blows to the Pegasus' head and neck with the blunt end of the spear, sending Warden wilting to the ground again. Why do you continue to fight? Shining armor demanded to know. Only the thing left worth fighting for, Warden muttered as he staggered to his hooves again, limping slightly as he tried to keep his balance. The guard captain stepped forwards again, sweeping Warden's spear away deftly, and then shoving him over his bodily. His spear point coming around to rest against the Pegasus' throat, the razor-sharp point digging into the soft flesh. Warden just stared up at him, cloudy eyes, motionless. What are you doing, Warden? Consorting with changelings? Shining armor demanded to know. Warden stared up at the guard captain and slowly he smiled. Shining armor was caught off guard by that unbalance. You don't even know, Warden remembered. Don't even. Just, you see her as a monster. Don't even see the pony underneath. She is a changeling, Shining armor stated with a growl. Yeah, she is a changeling. Not a monster, though. Warden turned his head, catching the sight of Kuno watching with teary eyes, struggling against the stockade futilely. She's so much more than that, Warden murmured, laying his cheek on the warm flagstone with a shudder. So much more. She's got you brainwashed, Shining armor hissed, shaking his head. Warden laughed at that, shaking his head. You're the one who's brainwashed. Brainwashed should hate them. Brainwashed should be close-minded. She's not a monster. She's beautiful. I love her. If you can find something to charge her with beyond being born as what she is, then go ahead, execute her. The Pegasus growled faintly, and then his good hoof was suddenly gripping Shining armor's spear, just below the bladed tip, holding it firmly against his own throat. If I deserve to die for trying to be with the one I love, then go ahead, don't do it. Wait, if I deserve to die for trying to be with the one I love, then go ahead, do it, kill me. Shining armor stared down at the Pegasus, uncertain. Yeah. Fuck you. Fuck you, Shining armor. Also, you're married to the princess of love, so you better not say shit about this right now. You better not do that close judgment fucking call, Shining. A figure stepped out of the crowd, moving quickly towards the guard captain. Princess Caden stared down at her Warden as well, and then exchanged an urgent, hushed conversation with her husband in quiet whispers. So I'm guessing Cadence was visiting Canterlot. Okay, now this makes sense. I'm not sure why. He's still guarding, though. Warden relinquished the spear tip, just sighing and laying his head on the flagstones, staring at Kuno so close and yet so far away. Kuno stared at him in return, a tear trickling down her cheek. She said his name, but she was too far away for him to hear it. Shining armor finished talking with his wife and then stared down at the Pegasus before taking a slow step backwards. He made a motion with his hoof, and the guards spread out uncertainly, making a path between Warden and the bound Kuno. Warden blinked slowly and then pushed himself to his hooves shakily, staring with wonder at the straight shot out to the changeling. Without asking questions, he began to hobble towards the stockade. He exchanged a glance with Cadence in passing, the eloquent of love, and she just nodded gently in understanding, mouthing go to her. Dope. Yep. The Pegasus stumbled as he reached the stockade, pulling himself onto Kuno's level and kissing her urgently, throwing his hooves around her. I thought I lost you, Warden murmured breathlessly, kissing the changeling again with a fervent emotion. I'm sorry, Warden, Kuno whispered, kissing him in response, her ears playing back. I should have gone to Daggertail. It's all my fault. Warden shook his head firmly. Shh. Kuno fell silent, staring self-consciously at the crowd watching them. What now? We go home. Warden murmured, a shaking hoof lifting to open the stockade. Undoing the levers and lifting the block, he winced in pain, gritting his teeth, but managed to get to the changeling loose. Kuno wiggled free and then stared around nervously, taking note of how many of the royal guard were there. There were dozens. Warden, Kuno murmured fearfully. Be strong, Kuno, Warden responded, pushing himself wearily to his hooves, and placing his good wing over the changeling, starting to walk with her towards the front gate. The entire crowd, ponies, royal guards, guard captain, and princess alike, all watched the unlikely pair in silence. Not a single pony lifted a hoof to help, but neither did a single But neither did a single pony try to stop them, as Warden slowly hobbled out of a palace courtyard with the one he loved. Damn. Warden made it all the way to the main street of Canterlot before he collapsed, staggering and falling to the road heavily. Kuno couldn't wake him. Damn. Damn, no. Several things happened in Canterlot over the next few days. A young Pegasus was seen going to the Canterlot bank and withdrawing her entire savings account, buying up a plot of land in the far north, her name Fleetwing. Authorities were called in to investigate the death of one Daggertail, whom was found with a dagger buried in his throat. The investigators concluded quite firmly that he had been murdered by Sunshine, a long-time underling and petty criminal. The conclusion was reached even though Sunshine was found 3 miles away in a ditch with his neck broken. The investigators decided that he had fallen while trying to flee, breaking his neck. Case closed. Any evidence to the contrary was filed for proper review and promptly ignored. Now, the members of the Canterlot hospital became rather used to the odd sight of a changeling sitting by the bedside of an unconscious Pegasus, watching him over like a hawk. Yeah, the changeling cares about him. Like, fuck you guys. Everyone knew the story of Kuno and the Pegasus who had trekked for 4 miles with a broken leg to try and rescue her. It was said the Princess Cadence herself had been the one who convinced Shining Armor to let them go, and the royal guard of themselves were weary of the changeling, but did nothing to impede her. Kuno stared down at Warden, batting. Damn. Okay, this just got emotionally fucked up already. Kuno stared down at Warden, biting her bottom lip. He was in an induced coma until his injuries healed. He had internal bleeding, broken ribs, and broken hoof, and broken wing. He would never be able to fly again, and he would always walk with a limp. And he had trekked 4 miles on a suicide mission to save her. Kuno felt her eyes misting with tears as she stared down at him and gently laid a letter on his chest, and then another piece of paper, and with a shaken hoof, her collar. Once she was done, Kuno slipped out of the hospital and was never seen there again. What? Warden took 8 days to awaken, and when he did, he was alone. Kuno was gone. All that remained was her note to a deed to a plot of land in the far frozen north, and her collar. The note read, Dear Warden, I don't know how to say this, but I'm leaving. I have decided I don't love you, and I don't want love. And I don't know what love is. Love is for ponies. Love is more than just a food source, more than just a sensation, more than just a food source. You show me what love is, what it can do. You trekked 4 miles to save me, 4 miles with a broken leg, wing, and internal injuries. You did all of this because you love me. I felt it. I know it. You know it. But if I change the events in my mind, I know that I would not be able to do the same. You're an amazing pony, Warden, and you deserve a pony who loves you as much as you love them. I'm sorry I'm not that pony, but I seriously hope you find her someday. Thank you for everything, Warden. Be happy. You deserve to be happy and in love. Yours truly, Kuno. Warden was seen by several other nurses to be holding the collar and the letter to his chest late at night, crying himself to sleep. 2 months later. Warden looked up at the 4 Pegasus who were tethered to his crate of seeds, carrying it to the north, fading into the distance before he cast his glance back at Canterlot. He was leaving it all behind to start anew in the far north, where he could forget everything. He had sold his house, turned it over the Aurora to the guards, and attested to it at a courtroom about the drug trade in Canterlot and Kuno's part in everything that had happened. Eventually, the magistrates had decided that his actions in growing the Aurora were excusable, as he was under duress, and Kuno was innocent in the whole ordeal, although she would be watched if she was found again. Sighing faintly, Warden looked down at the letter from Kuno, and then silently ripped it into pieces and scattered them to the wind. Goodbye, Kuno, Warden whispered, as he limped to the carriage and pulled himself up into it. Thank you for everything. Kuno pulled the door closed and then tapped on the divider between him and the driver. The carriage trundled off towards the north, carrying Warden in it, bearing him towards his new life. That's the end of this one. Next one I'm going to read right now is the epilogue. Is that the end for Kuno? Oh. Epilogue. 1 year later. 1 year later. Warden sighed faintly, sitting on the rope, unswing under the tree, kicking a hoof through the snow idly. It was near harvest season, and he had leisure time while he waited for the berries to ripen. The north field was plowed, ready to be planted, and his first vineyard helper, an earth pony named Greenhoof, was taking a break for a few days visiting her parents. The soft jingle of Kuno's collar filled the air, hoping Warden reminiscence about the brief time he had spent with the changeling. He was still in love with her, but it had been so long since he had seen her, he wasn't sad anymore, just melancholy. He obviously wished that she hadn't left. He had wished that he could convince her to stay. It was almost like losing Storm all over again, but Kuno had left him so much stronger than what she had found him. After the events of Canterlot, the hate search for changeling had dropped off a little, and he hadn't heard much from down south in recent months. Too busy tending to the vineyard, but he hoped that Kuno was happy wherever she was. A particularly hushed jingle of the bell made Warden look up, and he blinked once slowly. Kuno was sitting in front of him, quite visible against the snow, with her collar in her mouth, watching him. Warden shook his head to try and clear it, rubbing at his eyes. Kuno gave a wry smile, raising a brow. Took a while to track you down, she murmured, her voice muffled by the collar. Kuno? Warden murmured. That's my name, Kuno said with a happy nod. Warden pounced on her, dragging the changeling down into the snow, wrapping his hooves around her tail, kissing her urgently. His heart swelling in his chest until it was hard to breathe. You're here. You don't have to strangle me, Kuno giggled, dropping the collar aside and then leaning in to kiss the Pegasus gently. Thought I'd come check up on you. Warden nodded gently, pulling back, and then rubbing his nose against her slowly, pulling himself up out of the snow, then staring at her. I don't believe you're actually here. I never thought I'd see you again, he said, his voice breaking. Well, I left something behind, something I had to come get, Kuno pointed out with a smile, picking up her collar and jingling it faintly. Warden's face fell at that. Oh, help me put it on, silly, Kuno said, seemingly oblivious. Turning away from him and presenting her neck. Warden stepped towards gently, sliding the collar over her neck and then fastening it. There, he murmured, petting her neck. Kuno turned her back to face him, bouncing once in place and then grinning at the jingle the movement produced. You wouldn't believe what I went through. Busy, Warden asked, crunching through the snow back to his seat. Still carrying a pronounced limp, Kuno nodded in affirmation, pulling herself up onto the seat next to him. You taught me a lot of things, but I want to know what love is. For a creature that feeds on something to not even know what it is. Kuno shook her head slowly, wrinkling her nose. Love can't be quantified, Warden said with a snort, peering sideways at her. Even if you do feed on it. Kuno nodded once. I figured that out. Took a while though, but I found out what love is. Oh, Warden asked, reading about. And what would that be? Love is really freaking hard to explain, Kuno said, waving a hoof with a snort. It's like food. It fills you up and makes you warm and tickly inside. Warden smiled at that and then nodded. You found someone? Boy, did I ever. Well, it's more like he found me, really, Kuno admitted, frowning for a moment and then shrugging. He's really brave and strong and smart, even... Wait, he's really brave and strong and smart, and even not much of a looker though. Sounds like me, except he's brave, strong, and smart. Wednesday with a wry grin. Kuno nodded giggling once. He taught me a lot about love, you know, even if he didn't really mean to. Everyone teaches us something. Warden said pensively. That's just why I say that, Sim. Man. Sure do, but he taught me more, Kuno said with an earnest nod. Challenged how I thought just by being around him he's really cool like that. Wait. Sure do, but he taught me more, Kuno said with an earnest nod. Challenged how I thought just by being around me he's really cool like that, but I wasn't sure if I loved him, so I sort of ran away. You're good at that, Warden said with a soft smile. But I figured out that I am in love with him, Kuno admitted, leaning closer to him, laying her cheek on his shoulder. Because without him, I just felt empty, you know? I really don't, Warden admitted with a grin. I felt like, I don't know, I could get love from any pony I wanted, but he was different. Every pony I went to after that was inferior. It was like his love was the only thing I wanted. I mean, I don't think I could ever walk 4 miles for him with a broken hoof, but I'm not you, Kuno said with a... But I'm no you, Kuno said with a nod, nosing his shoulder gently. He must be one lucky stallion to have you, Warden said with a soft smile. And he said he'd marry me, Kuno gushed, and I didn't not once, not even a little bit in my head, think that was a bad thing. I could see myself spending my life with him. That's nice, Warden muttered, inching away from the changeling. I'm really happy for you. Kuno frowned deeply at that, pounding. You're jealous, aren't you? Warden sighed and nodded. I guess I am. This mysterious stallion is getting everything I was fantasizing about. I can't help it. Well, this mysterious stallion said that if I got... Okay, I'm getting distracted by kids laughing in the background. Well, this mysterious stallion said that if I got rid of Daggertail, he'd marry me, so he's kind of trapped, Kuno said with a sage nod. Warden blundered at that, his eyes going wide. Kuno lifted a hoof to his muzzle and pulled him close. rubbing her nose against his own gently, like silencing him from anything he was about to say. Marry me, Warden. Warden blinked several times, his cheeks flushing with warmth. But don't make me go to the rope and convince you, Kuno threatened with a grin. I think it'll be quite fun wrestling you down in all this snow. Wrestling you down all this snow, damn. But you left, Warden protested weakly, utterly confused. Yeah, she ran away. Because I didn't love you, Kuno said, huffing once. Or at least I didn't think I did, but after I left, I just felt hollow and empty. The love I stole from others it wasn't enough anymore. It was food, but it wasn't what I needed. It was like stale, hardened bread compared to a fresh loaf of cinnamon roll. I don't even know what to say, Warden admitted, staring at the changeling, shocked. Say yes, Kuno said, with waving the hoof firmly. You love me. Let's get married and have a vineyard together. We can even get a dog. This isn't a game, Kuno, Warden said, exasperated. Kuno snorted once and then wrapped her hooves around him, kissing him with a heated, fiery passion. I left you once, Warden. I regretted it immediately. It took me nearly a year to get up the courage to come back. Are you really gonna turn me down? Warden gave a sigh at that, shaking his head and kissing her warmly in response. Look, obviously I had to get around to saying yes eventually, but you're throwing kinda a lot in the mix all of a sudden. Oh, come on, Kuno exasperated. It's just a formality. I already own your soul. You stood up to the guard captain for me and got my ass beat, Warden pointed out with a twinge. And you got your ass beat like hell, Kuno corrected with a slight silly grin. And you still haven't said it. Warden stated, nudging her once with his nose. Said what? Kuno asked blankly. The 3 little words I wanted to hear from you, Warden said. Warden said with a slow nod, deadly serious. Wait, what? Okay. So I got my ass beat, Warden pointed. Okay, I need to re-say this whole dialogue. I got my ass beat, Warden pointed out with a wince. And got your ass beat like hell, Kuno corrected with a silly grin. And you still haven't said it, Warden stated, nudging her once with his nose. Said what? Kuno asked blankly. The 3 little words I wanted to hear from you, Warden said with a slow nod, deadly serious. Kuno nodded gently at that, then wrapped her hooves around him. Say you'll marry me. Say it, and I will, Warden countered, rubbing his cheeks against her own lovingly. Kuno pulled back, staring into his eyes, and then smiled. Warden, I love you. The end! Bam! That's a good old story to end that on. Damn. It's beautiful. Honestly, the only thing that I'm questioning right now, Warden is in the north right now, so he's not in Canterlot, but if he goes into town with a changeling, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen if Kuno wants to be herself and they go on a date? They're married now. They're getting married. So Volume 2 is gonna be an interesting one. Anyways, guys, thank you all for watching and listening. Do like you guys do, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.
100,000 stories have filled my head as I look for the answers in what I've read. Secretly waiting for my life to change.